And they are 1 through 17 as named by Todd Payton on Tuesday. And Jeremiah Nanai in super form right now. And there is the Bundaberg boy, born here, Cohen Hess, before moving away at the age of 8. So a special day for him today. But what about the 19-year-old Nanai? 16 tries already this season.
Yeah, and a couple of doubles too in the last couple of weeks. Nanai, he is a weapon, no doubt about it, but he mixes his game up well. Try scorer, tackle breaker, and he's great under the high ball. Watch for him here this afternoon.
So here comes the home team. They must feel like they're on enemy territory though, hearing some boos here in Queensland. And Matt Burton, his kicking game just absolutely sensational right now, and he's doing it in all departments.
Yeah, he's an outstanding player. No worries about sitting back and putting those big bombs up. But I'll tell you what he can do. He can bust tackles and set up tries. Already 13 tries this season for Burton. Big 5'8". Love it when he runs the footy. And what about the match-up here this afternoon against Dearden? Not the biggest of players. I reckon this guy's going to take him on.
So away we go. Rugby League in Bundaberg. And a floating kickoff. That's clever. I think he was across the sideline. Touchy sees it differently. And Braden Burns think it should be a penalty on halfway. Captain's challenge, the quickest one of all time here, and he'll get the right decision, I fancy.
Yeah, the touchy right there on the spot too. Braden Burns was pretty confident.
Do you want to? It's over.
They're going for it.
Once you're in conversation.
Well, Chad Townsend knows how long you've got.
Josh Jackson challenging the restart of play.
Famously, a couple of weeks ago against the West Tigers, it was Townsend who got the captain's challenge in.
They're looking at feet.
Well, they'll win this one for sure. His foot was planted.
Just got to find an angle that confirms the touch by Burns.
Yeah, just looking to see if the foot of the Bulldogs player is on the ground when he touches the ball.
Matt Noyen.
The foot is on the ground. We're just looking for any touch.
Is in the bunker. Just needs a fingernail on this.
It's fine.
You can see a touch, can you?
Braden Burns touches the ball with his foot over the touch line. Therefore, he's out in the full. The challenge from the Bulldogs is successful.
Steady, boys.
You got to be sure, haven't you, the first seconds of the game?
He was saluting, so the touchy missed it, but the bunker was there to back up Braden Burns, and what a dream start for the Bulldogs, a penalty on halfway.
It's not only the penalty, but you kick downfield and you're straight away in the attack. I wonder if you'll go for it here, Burton.
He's capable of finding touch 10 out, but takes the conservative approach and gives the crowd an early catch 5 rows deep. So the Bulldogs straight on the attack here. Burns, who played it cleverly from the poor kickoff by North Queensland. No Kyle Felt today, who often does those kickoffs. Replaced by Tabuai Fido on the wing. Straight into action from side to side to the in-form Aaron Shop. And now Vaughan, a settler. Scoring a load of points since Mick Potter took over as the interim coach. These Bulldogs, and here's Flanagan. Almost running right through them. The number 7, Josh Jackson, was there as an option, used as a decoy. Now Avarillo for Burns, and jamming in off the wing. Taulungi tried to reef it away when it was a one-on-one tackle, and a couple of teammates got involved. So on the last, yet to crack them. With this great field position early on, Burton drops it on the boot. What a kick! And the Fox gets there. These two have a telepathic understanding. Burton and Addo Carr, they're all class. And it's the Fox in Bundaberg with the history-making try.
Oh, what a start here for the Bulldogs. The little grubber kick in the behind. Just have a look at the number 4 here for the Cowboys. Peter Hiku in 2 minds whether to clean up. Here's the start of the game. The penalty right on the halfway line from the kickoff. Just watch Peter Hickey, the centre 3/4 here. As the ball's kicked through, he's a little bit hesitant. I think he thought the fullback, Scott Drinkwater, was going to come in and attack the ball, and the Fox is right there on the spot. Perfectly weighted kick. Just look at the hesitation here from Hiku. Looks up at his fullback. He's not going to go for it. I'll tell you what, the Fox is. And the Bulldogs score the opening try.
Great replay, isn't it, on Fox League? It's almost a one-on-one strip because Hiku claims it here when he eventually went for the footy, but Adokar just reefed it away, effectively like a one-on-one strip to score the first try of the day. That's 15 tries this season. 6th time he's done that. Only Ken Irvine, the legendary leading try scorer of all time, has got to 15 more times in a single season. He did it 9 times.
And I don't think he started off the season that well too, Adokar. I think it was like 5 or 6 games before he actually got across the stripe. So
his team weren't scoring any.
Well, that's right. But he's really taken off too. Didn't put the phone up to the ear that time neither. Didn't go with the celebration. Is that all over, is it?
That was a one-off special out at Combank. He's got some celebrations up his sleeve. There's Josh Adokar closing in on 150 career games, up to 117 tries, and just loving playing with this bloke. Burton makes it 6-0 as we check in with Billy Moore on the sideline.
G'day, boys. There wasn't a good atmosphere to start the game. It's electric now. Packed house, 10,000 here. They sold out 2 weeks ago. There's a little bit of a breeze at the back of the Dogs as well, gentlemen. That's going to be instrumental, I think, in this first half. Watch for Burton's 40-20s on the western touchline. What about the way he bent that kick away from Peter Hiku towards Adokar? As you said, Block, I think Adokar thought someone else, so they thought that someone else was going to get the ball, Hiku, but it bent towards the hands of Adokar, just like a thief of the night, too quick.
He's done some thieving lately with those intercepts a couple of weeks back. Adokar, Hess is so good at that, so the kickoff, well inside the touchline, works out this time for North Queensland. What a funky kind of start with the opening kickoffs here, Block.
Well, it looks like you've got to be ready for anything in this game. You know, a lot of teams now going with the short kickoffs. Hess contests the ball. The Bulldogs didn't get under it. They got the ball in the attack now.
To Noah Brown, setting them up. Cohen Hess so good at tracking down those balls in flight and knocking them back to teammates. Here he is again with ball in hand. The Bundaberg boy! Reefed back by King to deny him a try on homecoming day. Set restart, so they could afford another settler from the other front rower. Robson fires it out to Townsend. Subtlety in the pass to Dearden. Holmes running through a hole which closed really quickly. Great work by Carraz and Burns out there. Drinkwater now for Nanai. 16 tries this season. One behind what David Fafita did last year as a back rower. Taumalolo for Townsend. They have another crack left side. Dearden! Try saver. No, he gets it down with a show of strength, the little man. And it's try for try in the first 5 minutes in Bundaberg.
Well, after the Bulldogs couldn't clean up, after the kickoff, Cohen Hess it was that knocked the ball back. And what about this for a show of strength and backing himself too? Going at the line, Chad Townsend, double pumps here, just holds that defensive line up a little bit. Look at this, they just got caught standing still. And he backs himself there, did, and the score. Shouldn't have been able to score there early in the game. Your defence has got to be at its strongest, but a little fella like that, but got plenty of power. The show and go, spins out, they can't make the tackle, and there's a little bit of the grass. Good hit back there by the North Queensland Cowboys.
There was a lot going on. You saw Braden Burns just frozen in that defensive line, and they might just check out what was happening with all those decoy runners.
See, common sense should prevail here because didn't beat 2 players to the line.
Cole Flannan is shifting out in the defensive line. Fallenheim Holmes runs into the outside shoulder of Kyle Flanagan. This prevents him from sliding out in the defensive line and defending Tom Dearden. We have a decision.
He wasn't going to be the first or second to Dearden, but he might have been the third and might have been able to hold him up if not wiped out by the decoy runner.
Yeah, fair enough. Letter of the law. But really, the Bulldogs should have made the tackle on Dearden. A little fella like that too in the tackle. Anyway, we play on.
So take those 4 points away. It's back to 6-0 to the Dogs. And that examination of the right side of their defence from the Cowboys on that set. A sign of things to come. Here's Torpenay. Had to wait all year for a crack at it in first grade again. Last week in Newcastle, impressed off the bench, straight into the starting lineup in that position left vacant by the big suspension to Corey Waddell. He's a goer. Vaughan, easy meters up the middle. Great flow about this game already on the fast deck. Jackson right up the middle, playing with the 11 on his back. But Faitala Mariners on the edge. Here he is back on the angle. Jackson playing in the middle. And Marshall King swamped by his opposite number, and a mistake spotted as well. A little bobble in that.
Fumbles into Reece Robson. Shot clock on.
It just missed the jump a little bit here, the Cowboys. I know that the Dogs scored the first try, but their defence through the middle, a couple of players, Vaughan especially, has been able to skip through their middle, and Josh Jackson, so maybe they might need a little bit of time to warm up here.
Hey guys, bring it down.
Have won 12 of their last 14 games.
Reece, shot clock off.
Back-to-back wins over the Tigers and then the Dragons last week at Cogra. While the Bulldogs, they've been sensational in recent times. Winners of 4 of their past 6. Beaten Parramatta, the Tigers, the Titans and the Knights. In Newcastle last week in front of a big home crowd. They silenced the Knights fans. So pushing into that breeze. The Cowboys through Robson. 20-metre scamper from dummy half. What a season he's having. Dearden. Great read by Carraz, but the offload was there. Taumalolo will get them to the 20-metre line. Hung up by Townsend. Addo Carr flying over everyone. The star of the show so far.
Well, he lets his intentions be known straight away when that ball went up in the air. It was perfectly placed. Addo Carr, eyes on the ball. Just snatches it out of the ground. Look at that. That's a great take.
King running into a roadblock. The 2 big boppers there to greet him. Vaughan, work rate has been high. 3rd hit up for him already, up over 30 metres as Burton brings out a trademark torpedo spiral, and it's awkward for Drinkwater. He fumbled it the right way, but has to bring it off his try line, and the Bundaberg crowd being treated to the exploits of Burton.
Do you have a little bit of a smile on his face at the back then? Drinkwater had dropped on him, just knocks the ball backwards. I think he's going to be in for one hell of an afternoon too, not only dealing with the sun, but also with those big spiralling bombs there from Burton.
Billy Moore, you've been around the game a long time. Have you seen anything like the kick that he can produce?
That's as good as it gets, Speedy. He's got the wind at his back. He used it to perfection. Spiralling bomb, incredibly hard for Drinkwater to take that one.
I've never seen any better live. The way that the penetration he gets with the ball through the air is just phenomenal. As Townsend hangs it up, and look at that in reverse at the back end of its journey. Well read by Holmes. Second kick brewing here. Taulungi gives it to Holmes. He drops it on the boot and was then taken out, was he? No. Referee had a good view and said that was all above board. Now there's a late whistle, and the touchy must have tipped the mate.
Yeah, pretty hard not to put your shoulder into someone that's that close to the line with a little grubber kick in behind.
Wait, mate.
It's a good penalty for the North Queensland side. They're starting to get a bit of possession now. We know how dangerous a side they are. They ask you at least 3 times question when they've got the ball in with the attack. So here they come, the Cowboys.
Referee Adam G relying on the tip up from his touchy. Nick Bishaw and Wyatt Raymond running the sidelines today. They keep going left, don't they? Think they can break the Dogs out there, but Taulungi from a standing start, easily contained. Now some depth for Drinkwater. Oh, he had to search for it, but he found it. Taumalolo. Now to the open side for Dearden, in full flight and knocked on there by Nanai, caught by Hiku.
Thank you.
Tell you what, we all say how good the Doggies have really improved their attack, but they jammed up in defence there. Let's have a look at them all going up together and making the Cowboys make decisions. I was going to say what a great play the ball it was from Taumalolo. A quick play the ball, and that got them on the run, but the defence there on the left-hand side of the Dogs, they got up in their face. Can't afford to let them ball play at the line. And they force the error.
If this becomes a regular fixture in Bundaberg block, you reckon they can change up one of the team's jumpers?
Yeah, I know. I was going to say that a little bit earlier. My eyes aren't the best.
And the Cowboys do have some alternate jumpers they might have been able to turn out in today. They can just look at that one for the future. Marshall King now, short side for Flanagan. Torpenay. And into the shoulder of Holmes, but still found metres after contact. Just his 10th game in the NRL. For the Auckland-born back rower. Vaughan, ball playing this time, just got it away Burton, but the pressure from Nanai, and then the hit on Faitala Mariner, who didn't appreciate the treatment, led to the error.
I don't think I'd be Jack Townsend. I don't think he'd be going off too much there. Going chest to chest with a much bigger man there.
Out of his weight division.
I would say so. You can do that now, you know you're not going to get clipped.
And the confidence of Townsend and the performances that he's been providing for his new club this year. 14-5 record, North Queensland. Taumalolo running over Jackson, who stuck to the task, hung on to one leg in the end. It was Vaughan who did the lion's share of the damage though. Torpenay just throwing himself into that legs tackle. Quick play the ball though. Townsend hanging it up, Hiku attacking it, Burton climbs this time and immediately looks to the man on the outside. Fans thought that floated forward, he might still be heading to the touchline. And the ball is in the field of play here, the tricks of Nanai.
Ball backwards off Dogs, then Cowboys go out.
Wow.
Play the ball, Bulldogs.
What an escape for the Bulldogs, and Burton might need to park the adventure he went with here.
I'll tell you what, he expected Addo-Carr to be hogging that sideline there. They hold him up, force him in the touch, gets the ball back in field. I don't know, what's Burton doing there? Nanai scoops it up. Lucky to get away. They've dodged a couple of bullets here.
Offload, forced inside their 20, and it leads to an error according to the referee here. What a mistake from the Bulldogs, who do lead the league in offloads in recent times, but they're taking on an opponent who are the best in terms of conceding offloads. And Todd Payton spoke about that pre-game with Billy Moore, and the Bulldogs defence has to shape up again here, Billy.
Yeah, they do speed. They're asking for a little bit of danger down their way with those errors, but their line speed has been brilliant for the Dogs. That's what's really counteracting the Cowboys' attack.
Held in for a brief moment. Shocking service, but Hiku tied it up for the Cowboys. Taumalolo running at Jackson again. Contact better that time from the veteran. Hess off the long run. Isn't he inspired to be back in the birthplace of Bundaberg? This time it's Gilbert running hard, and Flanagan able to help make a try saver. Nanai. No room to move for the talented team. Not many out here on the right-hand side. Only the hammer to chase it, and Averillo well placed to get back in the field of play.
Yeah, he's in perfect position, wasn't he? Averillo there. Townsend with the little grubber kick and just attacks the ball. Gets back in the field of play. They've got to come away. They're going to get a penalty here, are they? Or someone's going off for a HIA.
Jackson when he was run over and used as a speed bump by Taumalolo.
He's caught it right on the jaw there. Taumalolo's got this unbelievable ability to use his body. Can bump off players. That was a perfect example of it there.
That's a big hit in the melon. How tough is Josh Jackson to
He's tough, don't worry.
pass the HIA test on field?
They've got to complete here, the Dogs. The last 3 sets they've had. Made mistakes coming off their own line, inviting the Cowboys to try and score on them. Got to get to their kick here.
Tala Mariner with good meters and entitled to a quick play of the ball. Flanagan on kicking duty this time, and he gets a great purchase on it. He'll be learning plenty, training with Burton week in, week out, and that might be the longest kick of his career down Breeze.
That was a beauty, wasn't it? When you've got a big breeze like that, you get to your 40 when you've made errors the last 3 times you've had the ball. You're better off kicking in the early in the tackle count with the breeze. Just put it straight back on the Cowboys here.
Terrific effort to keep a clean sheet so far, Billy.
Yeah, definitely. They've made a few errors, the Dogs, but they're defending them well. Just looks like right now that the Cowboys machine's not quite in sync.
And the ball was thrust from the grasp of Taumalolo, who is pondering a captain's challenge, but he's going to concede the error here.
Well, I just think it's a second, third man over the top. I don't know if it's deliberately played at. Pretty accidental. They're not going to challenge by the look of it.
Yeah, pushed out by Torpenay, but as you say, he doesn't know a whole lot about it. Unlikely to win a captain's challenge, and this guy coming back via the bench the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, love his leg speed too when he comes on. Just gives him that little bit of a lift, I'm sure. Once Cotter just does come onto the field. Both sides error-ridden so far.
6-game absence it was for Reuben Cotter with that serious hamstring that cost him an appearance in games 2 and 3 of the Origin series after starring in game 1. Best field position in a while for the Dogs. And Marshall King sees the opportunity week in, week out and makes the most of it.
Yeah, he's got a great sense of when to run, Marshall King, not just for the sake of it.
Inside the 20 they go through Faitala Mariner. Just the 1 week out last week, straight back in today. Now King taking on Robson, landing on his front. Quick play the ball for Marshall King to go to Flanagan. Cut out ball to Burns, and he forced the pass. Taulungi tried to make the intercept that was really tough, and they'll get a fresh set here, the Dogs.
Taulungi just coming in, trying to make that front on hit. Tell you what, the Bulldogs, we talk about the attack, but Max King, the big front row, watch him, number 8. There's the flick out the back. The big number 8 for the Bulldogs just straightens them up. He does it well. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, it's been a good start for Paul Vaughan. But this guy straightens them up, the Bulldogs, and I reckon he's a big part of why they're going so well.
Jeremy, tight, in. Hold the weight there. Hold in. Hold, break.
They were told to hold, but they went a little early, the Cowboys. It doesn't matter! Burton, a try assist and a try already for the informed Matt Burton. What a player he is.
Well, how many times do you see it? It was all the Cowboys up the other end of the field. We're talking about the Doggies' resolve in defence. But I love it when this bloke, big body, backs himself. Hiku gets on the outside of him. And I'll tell you what, if you go arm grabbing at Burton, he's that big and strong. He's got a great sense of when to run. The show and go gets on the outside of Hiku. You're not going to stop him that close to the line. Look at the size of him. I was up close to him a few weeks ago. Mate, he'd be near on 6'4", this bloke. He's a monster.
He's well aware of the dimensions as well. Burton just getting it down in time with the big flying finish. to entertain the Bundaberg locals here. And he's in the head of Peter Hiku, that kick that caused dramas for the Addo Carr try, and then able to run around him as you identified there.
Yeah, they just look done for numbers there. Just Hiku just got beat on the outside, but this guy's a real footy player. When you watch him, he's got the ability to defend, back himself to run, the show and go. He's just got a great sense for it. And that time backed himself to score. I said, how many times you see it? It was all the Cowboys the last 10 minutes. Bit of resolve from the doggies. We didn't see that earlier in the year. We're seeing it now.
Getting his goal kicking percentage up near 75% now, Matt Burton. Tough opportunity here to try and convert his own try. Bulldogs with a 4-5 record, averaging 25 points per game since Mick Potter took over as the interim coach. They were scoring less than 10 points per game before that. And Burton trying to bend it back on the breeze, but he hit it a little too true and it hangs out there, and they've got 10 points already in the first quarter of this game. Marshall King really setting the tone, Billy.
Yeah, both in attack and defence. He's had a few good tackles, but he's been dynamite out of dummy half. We talked about the attack of the Cowboys being out of sync, but that was very poor defence. Reuben Cotter's come on. I imagine his energy is what they're going to need to start to turn this around.
Trying to do the double over the Cowboys in 2022. 6-4 winners in round one when the Cowboys thought they'd stolen it with a late try that the bunker took off them. Here's another kickoff that's hanging up and Hess is hunting, but it went a little too far, and a good safe take by Carraz, who was signed by the Cowboys in 2020 and was set to be there for the foreseeable future. Then along came COVID and he's wound up a Bulldog via Newcastle. Jacob Carraz, and haven't they landed an absolute gem out there on the right wing. Lebanon international. Reuben Cotter straight into the action, getting involved and trying to bring that energy that Billy predicted. Burton shaped to kick early and went to Faitala Mariner instead. Well, there, I reckon, might be the jumper situation. He saw someone looming on his shoulder and said, there's an offload. Oh, hang on, that's the other jumper.
Yeah, I reckon then I might have called that one. Inside, here.
Clever by Nanai, perhaps. But the jumper clash will be a reasonable talking point out of this one. Hard meters out there on the edge for Tommy Gilbert, another Origin hero this year. And Cotter, some footwork, got around King and flicked the offload away sharpishly to Robson. Taumalolo from dummy half, decent service. Holmes pushes a pass, Carraz stuck to the task initially, and the ball comes loose in the end as Taulagi was hunting a put down on the last.
Well, they obviously think there's a little bit of a weakness on the right-hand defence. And the Bulldogs, Carraz looks like he's hurt an elbow there by the look of it, but they've got some bodies in front, they're being good. As I mentioned earlier, they haven't ball watched. They've got up in the face of the Cowboys, haven't allowed them to play.
Faitala Mariner coming in from his edge, looking for work.
I like to see that too, just trying to make up for his mistake a little bit earlier.
There's an offload, a safe one from Vaughan. Flanagan picks up a bonus 10 metres off the back of it. Jackson up over halfway. Burton ready to unleash. Hangs it up Plenty of hang time for the chasers. Addo-Carr had some traffic to negotiate, so Drinkwater able to bring it back with some interest.
He was under plenty of pressure there too, Drinkwater. Runs the ball back 15 metres with interest. It's a good start to the set there for the Cowboys.
Taulagi thought about flicking it out the back to Valentine Holmes, but he had some company. Cotter slowed down on his back. Drinkwater down that short side for Holmes. Decent looking kick in behind, but it's set up kindly for Averillo. Another offload. Averillo ready and waiting for the work of Carraz, who was about to be driven back big time.
Yeah, it's a confidence thing here with the Bulldogs. They love offloading the footy. Obviously think they've got a little bit of room up the short side. They keep going up that side. Slow play the ball from Vaughan, putting his hand up now. Tough conditions, I suppose it'll be really hot up there.
Yeah, 23 degrees and sunny. Humidity is reasonable. Burton again going drop punt style. This time down to the wing of the Hammer. And Tabuai Fido slipped through the initial tackle. And he didn't need too many more metres to wind up. Addo-Carr slowed him down a little too long. That's a matchup to savour if they do have a sprint race a little later on.
Well, he gave himself up there, Addo-Carr. Just hang on too long, looked up. See if he'd hang on a little bit longer. Tabuai Fido, we know when he gets in the clear, it'd be a great match race, wouldn't it? Just look at him, look up and have a look. Hangs on the too long. Cowboys have got to get up the other end, get some field position here. They were camped on the Dogs line for about 10 minutes there at one stage. Haven't been back up there.
We have the old match race. Lee Odenride, Martin O'Fire style. And half time between Addo-Carr and the Hammer. That would be something else, but the penalty going the way of the Dogs here. Against Tommy Gilbert. What a one-on-one strip that was from Torpenay, and then the high shot. Doing the little things right, this young man, after getting his opportunity.
I like how hard he goes. As we mentioned, not the biggest back rower, but good leg speed. Wants to be involved in the game all the time. And that was a good one-on-one strip. They're building the stump here again, the Bulldogs.
Already been a Maori All-Star as Jackson Torpenay, just 20 years of age. They've got some young talent now, the Bulldogs. Things looking up heading into 2023 with the way they're finishing off this season. And some new arrivals, speaking of back rowers, a certain Billy Kickow out on the left edge next year for the Dogs, getting on the end of Burton. And this kind of service, Averillo tapped it on, and he's upset that there was no way through for Shop. Gets his hands on it here at first receiver to find Flanagan. And King with that trademark go forward. Still two plays up their sleeve. Marshall King, shape to go right, came left. Bit of footwork from Shop. And there was backup defensively after the initial miss by Hiku. Addo-Carr had to search for it. Burton, crossfield kick, up they go, batted forward by the Cowboys. And Carraz complains.
Short here. Knock on off foul.
He's claiming that.
Short by Dogs, got
Carraz, is he?
I think he's claiming it should be 10 in the bin for offside deliberately, maybe. Because they're going to get the ball back here for a fresh set. Strange one the way, well, he's trying to catch it, I suppose, but it went forward a long way. Off Taulagi, who had teammates in front of him. He was in goal when he knocked it on, though, which helps. And that breeze. Wow, this will work out. How clever by Townsend. No one can touch it until it goes to 10, and it took a North Queensland bounce against the odds there. He's so smart, Chad Townsend, so they can't touch it here when it lands inside the 10. Hope for a bounce, and they got one.
And that helps too on the back of it. Tomalolo leaving the field now. They get a penalty. Good play there by Townsend. As you said, very clever. Not enough Bulldogs players around the ball there to dive on it. Looks like it was going to be a penalty in front.
Occasionally, under the quirk of that rule, you can get your short dropouts horribly wrong and yet so right, Blocker.
Yeah, well, you see nearly every side in the competition really going for it now. He's made a difference since he's come on, hasn't he? Cotter, leg speed. It's his fourth run. He's only been on 5 minutes.
Oh, he came up there, Braden Burns, and did, and not held. Eventually wrapped up by Avarillo, but they continue to put Burns' defence under the microscope. Out there on the right edge for the Dogs. Nanai, relatively quiet so far, but he can get hot at any stage. Gilbert's putting his head down. He'll play it on the last. Robson asking for options. Townsend. Nanai was chasing, scooped up by Burton and then grounded in goal. They get a repeat set.
He did his best to get back in the field to play there, Burton. It's Cotter with the great chase. There's any number of players around there, but Cotter showing great strength. Getting back in goal area, force a line dropout. That's exactly what they needed. Build that pressure, get the repeat set. We've got it now.
Look at that bullet. Look at the dropout from Burton. They were waiting though, anticipating it could go 70, and it was going to go about 69 on the fly from Burton.
Joe Jackson square.
Just the sound that makes when he makes impact with the ball.
I'm right to get excited about these kicks, aren't I, Block?
Why not? I've never seen anything like it. I'm generally stunned when it goes that far.
It's great to watch, and you can just hear the way the crowd reacts as well when he hits them so sweetly. Here's Leilua, fresh legs off the bench, and Cotter, the other interchange forward. They link up together and nearly open them up. Now off the back of it, Neem in try-scoring form.
Yep.
Back-to-back weeks, Griffin Neem, a try-scorer. First touch of the ball game pretty much for the Kiwi, and there was no stopping it.
Well, they needed something else, didn't they? Leilua it is that comes onto the ground. Ball playing skills, straight to Cotter, back to the short side. Looked like they were going to string the ball together, back over there on their right. They just hit back. Neem too strong. Just goes over the top of a couple of Bulldogs, and he knows he's got the try there. That's the way to run onto the ball. Much bigger man over the top. There's a bit of chalk on it. Gee, they needed that. They need that X factor to come on, Leilua, just to break this defence up of the Dogs. It was only a little short ball to Cotter, but it was something a little bit different. The Cowboys are able to score.
Well, be ready to make an impact. That's what Todd Payton will tell his interchange players, and 3 interchange forwards all involved in that try. Cotter, Leilua, and then Griffin Neem, who's now got 3 tries in his last 5 games, and the top point scorer in the NRL, whose short dropout somehow worked at the other end to eventually give them the field position to score their first points. Should be able to knock this one over and make it a 4-point ball game. It is indeed 10 points to 6 in Bundaberg, and those interchange forwards doing it for the Cowboys, Billy.
You're on the money there, Speedy. Ruben Cotter, since he's come on, he's just brought the energy, the enthusiasm, and they're starting to win the battle across the ruck. Griffin Neem last week scored a try. He's done it again this week. He always makes a difference off the bench. And a lovely little, beautiful short ball there. Leilua, one of the most dangerous bench players in the game.
Some kind of hairdo as well. Look at Burton just having to chip that one down to the try line. Cowboys would be delighted, you'd imagine, to have it so close on the scoreboard after the way this first half has evolved and the breeze at their backs in the second.
I'd say the Dogs have been a lot more dominant than the scoreline would suggest, but as we've seen from the Cowboys this season, there's Leilua with a good charge. Quick play the ball, should have been a penalty to the Cowboys there.
Robson picks up 15 off the back of it. Scooped up by Cotter. So one out stuff from the Cowboys to get inside the 40 off the back of points, and now Townsend to give Nanai and Hiku one to chase. Oh, coughed up by Avarillo. So they might just be able to take the lead to half-time, the way things are unfolding here. Cotter didn't have a whole lot to go to on his outside. The team just wanted a settler, centre field. Townsend, oh, it was opening up and kept alive. The offload from Leilua, what an impact he has made. And Townsend gets it down this time. They go back-to-back North Queensland. What a turnaround in this one.
Yeah, Leilua it is. First a short ball for Cotter, just a march upfield. That was a great set from the Cowboys there. The way they marched upfield, just straight through the middle with all the replacement players. A quick play the ball. Look at the offload here. Just stays alive, Townsend. The legs tackle from Flanagan. Leilua good enough to get the ball away. And Townsend, after he got the ball back for the Cowboys, it seems like an age ago from a line dropout, that's when the game really started to turn around. Townsend gets the try.
Well, he's had to wait until late in the season to score his first try for the Cowboys. What a player he has been, what a recruit for North Queensland.
He's just a general, isn't he? Just they needed someone up there to take to the play and how to get around the field, and with his good short kicking game, but just showed his footy announced there, just passed the ball and then kept alive on the run around. Gets the ball back and scores. Can you believe it? The Cowboys may go in front here from the conversion.
All locked up at 10 apiece with 5 to go in the first half. Holmes trying to break the deadlock. Hits the ball so truly off the tee, and this one is drifting. The breeze is a really strong one coming into the face, and this guy's enjoying the attacking football today. Barr watching on with Willie Mason, some famous Bulldogs faces in Bundaberg blocking.
Yeah, look at his big Willie and Barr. The greatest support player ever to play our game, Terry Lamb.
Don't see any Bundy rum there, but there's a few beverages going down, Block.
Yeah, you don't see Barr with the shades on. He's not too cool. Big Willie, he loves it.
What a change in this game. This guy's helped contribute in the number 17 jumper. Griffin Neame playing his role. Leilua outstanding with the punch that he's provided after the mid-season arrival. And now Drinkwater, right-hand side, busting tackles and dragged down desperately by Shop. Hiku had to search for it. Good hands from the veteran. Leilua from a standing start. Just making metres so easily. Luciano Leilua, they can't contain him. Neame able to lower the shoulder into contact. Cotter. Back on the angle goes Gilbert. Townsend. Nanai getting there, look to a teammate instead. Wiped out in mid-air. He's batted it all the way back to Stimson, who was just watching on. Ball watching, and the ball came his way. Burton kicking. Got a shout from Adokar. Here's the foot race. Oh, the hammer. He just went into cruise control and took down the Fox in a 60-metre showdown.
Yeah, what about that? Both players just putting a foot down. That's brilliant play there from Burton. The understanding there with Josh Adokar, the kick downfield, he would have called for that. Then the race was on. Now this is a perfect position now for Tavita Pangai Jr. to get himself involved. Now they've forced the line drop out. He's been defending since he's come on. They need to get him the football. He'll have the same impact as what the opposition player in Leilua has had. Need to get him the ball.
This time they don't go short, happy to back their defence in, and Pangai Jr. does take the first hit up. Just about any other opposition winger, and Adokar might have beaten them, but when you turn the hammer around and give him a challenge, he can turn on those afterburns. Who is the quickest player in the NRL right now? Would love to see that match race on the grand final day. A few boys out of Manly who'd be there in the final 8, you'd imagine. Flanagan for Pangai Jr. Got the arm free, the offload king, but there were no teammates in the vicinity, so forced to hold on and play at 10 out. He wants to drag someone in for a bit of niggle, trying to milk one, and the referee right on top of it.
You held him. Hold him. Go 4.
Flanagan for Stimson. Ran into a big shot from Neem over the top. On the last, Pangai Jr., does he know it? Forced it out the back somehow. Torpenay for Burns. Kick rolling away, and Carraz.
About 20 off Carraz, he pushes it into a Cowboy.
Yep. He didn't play it at Taulungi, so it's a 20-metre tap. He was so close to a miracle there, Jacob Carraz.
It was a good chase too, just covering the ball on the way through. This is a good break. Carraz was a little bit slow to get back on his wing.
Interesting. You don't get away with that too often. Flanagan thought he was square at marker and entitled to pounce on that with no dummy half there. But deemed not square and an easy penalty. So 1 minute to go, 1 full set to take the lead into half-time. Gilbert.
They'll come back, they'll lay the post and come back to their left. I reckon the Cowboys.
Fantastic Sunday afternoon entertainment already in this one. Part of our double header on your Sunday ticket. First half coming to its conclusion. Townsend for Cotter. Not thinking about 1 at this stage. They want 6. And here is the number 6 did, and taken down a couple out. They will get through the full set. Townsend. Hiku. Great hands from the hammer. Adokar wraps him up. Do they think about the field goal now that they get to this stage? He's gone a long way back, Townsend, looking for an 11-10 lead, drives it into the breeze and hooks it. And that'll do us. Entertaining first half in Bundaberg. The fans have been right royally entertained. It's 10 apiece. And the breeze, a big talking point already in this game. And what will Burton do with his kickoffs into the wind? Which caused some havoc for the Bulldogs, trying to contain what North Queensland did with their kicks, not just from that short dropout, but also the kickoffs.
It's on your right.
Burton drives it as far as he can. And it travels less than 40 for Neem to get the Cowboys right on the front foot.
Jackson, you still got it. You still got it. Hold.
All of the interchange forwards outstanding. And the first 40 for North Queensland.
I reckon the Bulldogs would have talked about that, trying to upset the first couple of rucks, the first couple of take forwards of the Cowboys. Allowing them far too much leeway. I reckon they would have spoken about that at half time.
Leilua, absolutely outstanding since coming on.
You just get the feeling, come if they do make it through to the semi and win a couple of semis and get themselves through, Leilua's going to have a big impact for the Cowboys.
Adokar again. He's been outstanding under the high ball. The timing was fantastic for the Cowboys to drive him back. There are concerns for Braden Burns, who was asked to make a lot of tackles out there in the first half, and he's got an arm issue, so we'll keep an eye on that, and there'll be plenty of traffic heading his way again.
Sometimes you've got to shake it off. I mean, they need him out there. Braden Burns is a good defender. They defended so well for a long period of time in the first half, the Doggies. Only a little bit of a 10-minute block that the Cowboys were able to score.
Burton keeps it a little lower. Straight onto the chest of Tabuai-Fidow. And look how far he's able to bring it back. They're winning the field position battle early in this second 40, Billy Moore.
Yeah, they certainly are. They've got a good breeze at their back and they'll make use of it. Coach Payton mentioned using the breeze, line speed and defence, and to watch the Dogs offloads. From the Dogs' perspective, Coach Potter wants to be more composed, control the ruck, and defence on the fringes with the Cowboys' offloads.
What about the discipline of Billy Moore? Could have gone off and had a gin with Barr and Willie Mason, but he did the homework required. Chatted to the coaches at half-time as Drinkwater explores that right-hand side. Townsend, he was ready to go, Leilua. Was he blocked off by Flanagan? Tidied up by Carraz, and here comes the penalty for moving off the line.
Yeah, that'll be the interesting thing to see if Flanagan does cross the path. He tried to smother, but he does get in front there of Leilua. A bit of a mismatch. I think Leilua might have played up to it a little bit. Didn't hit him that hard. Fell on the turf.
I don't think they were likely to get any hands on it, but unnecessary by Flanagan, who had no eyes for the footy and made it pretty easy for the referee to adjudicate on that one. And the old escort penalty allowing the Cowboys to add 2 points, as they did famously against the West Tigers a couple of weeks back for an escort penalty that wasn't.
Yeah, I suppose it'll be the first time they go in front. He kicks this one, he'll throw this one over, won't he? Val Holmes. Take the 2 when you get the opportunity with the breeze too. Maybe might have been a different decision if they were against it, but kick him with it. They've had all the ball early, and it just worries me a little bit the way the start the second half they've been able to cruise up through the middle of the Dogs' ruck.
Sharp hairdo, as always, for Valentine Holmes. Stroke this one over and give the Cowboys their first lead of the ball game, 12 points to 10. You saw Todd Payton upstairs. He'll be the guest of Matty Johns this week on Face to Face, and we've already seen a few excerpts from that, including the fascinating discussion about when he arrived as an assistant coach, and Jonathan Thurston was part of the Cowboys lineup.
Well, he was the best player at the time in the world, wasn't he? So you would imagine a young rookie coach coming in, albeit an assistant, would be a little bit intimidated by the great Jonathan Thurston. But he's found his way. He's done a magnificent job, Todd. You'd always tell he was going to be a good coach.
He's had some tough times, wondering whether he was going to be good enough. He's still got a negative record, 27 and 30 overall heading into this in his coaching career, but that'll get it above 500 and beyond pretty quickly, you'd imagine, as the knock-on is spotted here from the short kickoff.
Saying Carraz knocked the ball on here. You get the first jump at it by the look of it.
Still got a captain's challenge up their sleeve, but the call has gone against the Dogs here.
Just need a couple of those things to go your way too, especially now that the Cowboys have got in front. Starting to get a few decision goes their way.
Nanai, no tries yet for him today. After multiple tries the last couple of weeks. Cruised over a couple of times late against the Dragons last week. Townsend down that short side for Hiku. Had his defensive issues in that first half, but gives the momentum here. Little bobble from Townsend. Kept his eyes on the footy somehow. Same doesn't go for Drinkwater though. So ball handling becoming an issue here in the warmth of Bundaberg.
Yeah, it's the first time they're going to get the ball in the second half now, the Dogs. See how much energy they've got. I'll be rushing to the scrum, trying to get on. Not only early in the second half, but show that enthusiasm to get there and get going. It's a bad mistake. They'll be wanting to get on with it now, the Bulldogs.
Go, Jeremiah. Heads down. Shut up, please. Scott. Shot clock off. Wait there. Hold in. Hold break.
The push in the scrum from North Queensland. Carraz contained, but they left a little too early, and boy, do the Dogs need that, a little piggyback out of their own half.
But wanted someone else to take the kick for touch then.
You want me to come all the way over there?
A bit puffed.
So they start 40 out. Might be limited opportunities in this second 40 to post points, and they might need a few tries at least in the way North Queensland are playing. Pangai Jr. for Burton. Avarillo trying to punch his way through. By Tyler Mariner, patched up after an early gash in that first 40. Stimson for Jackson. Pass a little behind Flanagan. Safety first approach from the halfback. Stimson, little double pump to find Burton. Nanai unable to contain him, but held him up long enough. An offload came from Burton though, and signalling for the kick was Carraz. And great chase by Jackson, an offload for Drinkwater, who has nowhere to go. And a bit of byplay at the end of it all, but repeat set coming up.
Obviously, Pangai Jr., we know what ability he is. I'm calling for it. I want him to get involved. That was a full set of 6. He needs to get his hands on the footy. He's the most dangerous player they've got, the Dogs. Get him in some positions.
That kick to him a few times. On the line dropouts. Torpenay back on the angle. Headed Burton's way again. Picks up Avarillo, trying to create that extra number, but North Queensland's defence has been outstanding throughout this season. Under Payton. After all that work in pre-season up at the crack of dawn. Get ready for the rigours of a long campaign. Pangai Jr. Lovely ball playing, and the arm was free, just couldn't execute the miracle offload, and they were nearly over there but couldn't hold on to the footy.
Oh, that's a little bit better there from Pangai. The good players want the ball in hand. Stimson looked like he was just headed for the line there. Look at this for nice little soft hands.
Go. Cross the arm.
Plates for a penalty, turned down by referee Adam G. Tough yards for Taulungi up the middle. Now the other winger, Tabuai Fido, playing on Felt's right-hand side. Played the first 4 rounds of the season at fullback before his injury opened the door for Drinkwater. 40-20 being hunted here, and it takes a Bulldogs bounce if indeed Townsend was inside his own 40. Might have been just out.
Yeah, I reckon they'll back their kicking game here. They'll kick early in the second half, get to that 40 and kick downfield, put the pressure on the Dogs. Finally got themselves in front on the scoreboard. It'll be all about field position now for the Cowboys. Try and force the error.
Don't forget game 2 on our Sunday ticket. The Knights, who the Bulldogs towed up last week, looking to bounce back at Campbelltown against the West Tigers. That's all coming your way. Next on Fox League. Late offload again from the Bulldogs. Hangai Jr. has the arm free. Adds to his offload count, and Burton likewise. Now the shift to Torpenay. Men outside him, and took the line on himself. He'll play it on the last. Burns found Burton. Fullback taking it on, but Carraz rose and found Flanagan. The Burton kick is such a weapon. And Carraz went up and found it and has the try assist.
Gee, that's a good play, isn't it? Just a sense of mind when he catches the ball on the full to flick it out the back. But Flanagan to be in a perfect position here. Look where he is, just on the inside of the kick there. Just chases through Carraz. The challenge, the flick, the footwork from Flanagan to score. And the Doggies are back in it.
There's been a lot of the 1980s, the way the Bulldogs have been going about it lately. The entertainers, and a bit of Steve Gearin about that, wasn't it, from Carraz?
Yeah, that was good footy. You'll never forget that try that Steve Gearin had scored in the grand final. Well done from Kyle Flanagan too. Like, it's easy just to sit back and not chase as hard. Perez takes the ball, flicks it to him, and the Bulldogs are back in front.
The one that got away from North Queensland and Newcastle. Jacob Carraz. Family was telling him, you better come on home when COVID hit in 2020. That's why he's no longer a North Queensland Cowboy. Could have broken into their first grade team by about this stage, you'd reckon. Getting opportunities at the Bulldogs and not looking back.
Well, the best thing about the Bulldogs now, before, earlier on the season, they might have thrown in the towel once they were behind. That's not the case now. They've fought their way back in.
Kicking game has been on song. Flanagan's kick got the repeat set. And then Burton's big bomb allowed Carraz to get there for the take and try assist, but he can't invent a way to shove that one over the uprights. They've got a 2-point lead though, the Dogs.
Yes, seesawing battle, Speedy. We mentioned about the entertainers earlier on in the 80s. Well, what I love about the Dogs in 2022, the back end of the season, is their offloading ability, their fatiguing defences, and that try, I reckon, is a byproduct of the fact that they used a little bit of risk but kept it in proportion. Great try there by the Dogs. They're back in the game.
It's funny you talk about the offloads too. 9-4 to the Bulldogs. That's just confidence. Just love playing the game, offloading the ball, playing that exciting brand.
There were 3 or 4 offloads in one play just moments ago in the lead up to that try. Wins have been few and far between against this opposition in recent times. Cowboys have won 8 of the last 11 head-to-head. Anyone's game here in Bundaberg, and that time they wrap up the footy. Call of held came, so that offload won't count. He'll be told to play it, Pangai Jr. Ready and waiting for Faitala Mara back on that angle. Oh, Jackson shaping to pass, then ran into Griffin Neame, and you know it when you run into him.
Hey, don't worry, Jacko just bounces up, stays on his feet, plays the ball. Here's another beauty, look at that.
Now it comes down, and you know hope of catching it. Carraz gets there again to try and make it work. It remained the last though, and he's forced to change it over. He gets that torpedo spiral, but once it starts coming down, they just give up, don't they, the catches?
I wonder if he starts laughing when he kicks them, when he hits them well.
I've got him.
I'm so sure Dearden didn't touch the ball there.
Up together and square!
In the tussle with Carraz to try and, yep. Archers thought they were in position, about 2 out from their own try line, but then the ball just took a different path and they were absolutely nowhere near it. Now Dearden, Leilua. He's up over 75 metres run on 8 hit-ups now. Drinkwater, not as much height, and an easy one for Carraz, who's got some hang time about him when he takes off.
He's in the wars a bit today too. I think he copped a nice bump there. Just hobbles back out to his wing.
Coming off a hat-trick last week that doubled his career try tally, and there's a look at the points production and the upswing under Mick Potter. It was tough under Trent Barrett at the start of 2022, and then the interim boss, Mick Potter, who's a quietly spoken man, has just pulled the right levers to make this team play spectacular, entertaining footy week in, week out, and there's another example of it. Pangai Jr. finding an avenue for an offload. Addo Carr found Flanagan. Pressure on the kick from Burton. Drinkwater, an easier one to catch this time. Hits the ground running. The hammer on the outside. Drinkwater weaving his way back over halfway.
He's a great mover once he gets going. Good runners in their side, haven't they, the Cowboys?
Hard to believe he didn't break into the side until round 5. This time the offload from Hiku allows Taumalolo to pick up 15 more. And on play 3 here, they're going to enter the red zone through Cotter. Robson. Townsend now. Did, and the halves combine, and Taulagi untouched. He's over for the Cowboys. They're examining the touch and how it got to him. I think it's all okay. How are they going to send it upstairs?
What about the calmness of Did? Sensational pass on the outside.
They're actually looking for a baton, whether it goes forward across the ground for a forward baton, sorry.
Yeah, Taulangi's saying it's not a baton, it's just off the shoulder of his teammate here. As did and just cut out
there's a
Valentine
knock on
Holmes.
here when it contacts Valentine Holmes.
It's off his shoulder.
And it goes backwards anyway, doesn't it?
They won't be able to call that back, will they?
It's not a knock on when it comes off his shoulder.
No,
is it?
you're right, and the ball goes back anyway.
Just looking to see if there's any contact with Valentine Holmes.
It's pretty clear what it's bounced off, and that's the top of the shoulder. Matty Nguyen in the bunker, just dotting the I's, crossing the T's. And this try will stand.
Carraz was caught in no man's land in field. He went in for Val Holmes to cut our pass. Smart play there by Dearden.
The ball touches Valentine Holmes' shoulder. Just look in the direction the ball travels.
Gone backwards.
So if it goes forward, it's a knock on when it touches that part of your body.
If it goes forward, yeah. But just look where it hits him. It goes back. Doesn't even float forward.
The ball touches the upper arm shoulder of Valentine Holmes. We've looked at all possible camera angles and we're supporting the on-field decision of the ball travelling forward. We have a decision.
Valentine Holmes getting ready to convert the try of Taulagi, but his little touch off the top of his shoulder constitutes a knock on.
Yeah. Scrum, guys. Bring it over, guys.
It seems to me we always try and find a way why it's not a try now.
Okay, bring it down.
If it touches his neck, it's okay, but above the shoulder.
Hold out there, guys.
Okay.
Hold there,
It's a
though.
knock
Reach
on.
on it down.
So it's a,
Feet are tight.
but he was standing behind him. So how does it go forward anyway?
Up now, Chad! Hold!
Bulldogs dodge a bullet.
Geez, you reckon you won't hear about that in the press conference if the Bulldogs just win?
In the rule book, it's the hand or arm that can commit a knock on, and up above the shoulder still means arm. Ball's come out really late here, and Addo-Carr coughs it up.
Tackle is complete. Yeah.
Did you hear the referee calling held then?
Matty,
That's why he's going to challenge it for sure.
captain's challenge, Bulldogs tackle 4. On-field decision is just a lost ball.
What did he say?
Grab his what?
Just looking to see if there's any ruck interference from the Cowboys. The Cowboys' hands come away from the ball. There is no ruck interference from the Cowboys. The challenge is unsuccessful.
They were successful with an early one, but not this time. As we check in with Billy, a bit going on lately.
Yeah, that last, the try, or no try, was ruled. The crowd really showed their true colours. For me, that was a try. That was definitely a knock on by Addo-Carr. What I'm liking about this game is come to a real crescendo. Both sides are offloading. Very exciting football.
There's a test for Burns again defensively. Passes that one, he's okay. No wincing after taking down Taulagi.
Jackson, hands away!
Another examination for the Bulldogs defence as Dearden, right-hand side for Drinkwater. And Tabuai Fido just contained by Addo-Carr, who enjoyed that little battle.
And he whispered in his ear too, 1-1 there. Good defence there by Addo-Carr. Do you want to notice the difference about Leilua? When he was at the Tigers, he'd just hang around on an edge. Really get himself involved as much as he should, but let's have a look there, just taking hit-ups next to the ruck, getting himself involved. He's obviously being told, you're going to be in this team, mate. You need to get involved.
The Hammers played 3 times on the right wing this season, yet to score a try in that position. It's his 4th go at it, stepping in for Kyle Phil.
Got a little bit of depth now, haven't they, the Cowboys?
Burns from dummy half, tucking it under the arm. Approaching the hour mark in this game. Still a quarter to go as Faitala Mariner makes the Dogs upfield. Just over halfway. King had to search for it. Taken down 40 out. Marshall King looking for his kicking option. Again, it's Burt. Drinkwater calls Taulagi into it. 2-point ball game, 20 to go in Bundaberg. Tabuai Fido. Again, Addo-Carr stopping him. Guy Jr. being freshened up for one last stint at the back end of this one. Robson not anticipating the late offload. Drinkwater trying to make it work. Nanai keeping his feet. When will his moment come? Almalolo up around 90 metres run now. Townsend had some room. And the chase trying to contain Averillo. Take him down 10 out.
It's tough to play this sort of footy when you're caught on your own goal line. A lot of one out running now from the Bulldogs. Fatigue starting to set in. Field position critical now for the Cowboys.
Look at this crowd of 8,500 in Bundaberg, sold out a fortnight ago. Just absorbed by this contest. Game in the balance. Cowboys looking to solidify their spot in the top two, joined on the same number of competition points by Cronulla last night. And Taumalolo getting to Vaughan and rocking him with that contact. Pressure on the Burton kick, and they've created an error off the outside of the boot and out on the full.
Yeah, that's a big play of the second half there. I reckon you'll find it might be Cotter. It chases from marker. Just a little 1% play. And there he is, Cotter, putting the pressure on. Off the side of the boot there from Burton. This could be the ball game right here.
Normally it is such a pure strike from Burton, but it can go wrong. It's not easy to execute. That's why it's breathtaking when he does. Gives up this field position. Slowed down, so a set restart early in that count. And Nanai runs into Faitala Mariner. Jackson, third man in, just to slow it all down. Robson, great handling. Dearden, Drinkwater at speed, and then got clunky. Carraz, they're up early. Offside to stop the Dogs going length of the field.
Gee, that's a big call. They've done it. They've put pressure on the Cowboys all afternoon here. I mentioned it earlier in the first half, just getting off their line and putting some pressure on. I'd like to see that again.
Okay.
Yeah, you saw Carraz just turn to the touch judge saying, who was it that you've identified as offside? And I think he said it was him, who then came up with the footy. Now Townsend for Dearden, and they're ready and waiting for this guy, aren't they? The try-scoring weapon on the right edge. Hess flicks it out the back for Robson. Second phase. Leilua bumps away from one. Luciano Leilua reaches out, plants it down. Double movement potential or not. Try given.
Well, they're going to have a look at this because is he put on his back and then the motion of putting the ball over his shoulder to score. Here's the offside that really put the pressure on. It was a little bit slow delivery there from the dummy half, but anyway. Just the ability for both sides to offload the ball here. Now, Leilua, is his momentum stopped when he's put on his back here?
All about the ball handling arm of Luciano Leilua. He got rid of Flanagan in no uncertain terms. Ball carrying arm grounded there, able to roll over with momentum and put it down block.
I don't know, who knows this afternoon. They've already awarded the try. I don't think they'll have enough evidence to take it away from him. It'll be confirmed, this try. Is that a second effort when you're caught on your back like that? Your arm carrying the ball hits the ground and then you reach out. Anyway, play on, he scores. He's played so well this afternoon off the bench. I like his work rate. Leilua scores.
It takes him over 100 metres run on 10 carries. He's had 3 tackle busts, an offload, a line break, a try assist, and now a 4-pointer. You don't see numbers like that too often for an interchange forward. And Valentine Holmes hooking it inside that upright to make it a 4-point lead in favour of the Cowboys. And he was only going to arrive in North Queensland for the next season, 2023. But in the end, they were able to get him mid-season in 2022, and it could be an inspired move, Billy.
Yeah, welcome inclusion, Speedy, to this team off the bench. As we said earlier on, one of the most dangerous players in the game. The offloads we've been talking about, they're coming to the fore again. That try was a byproduct of 3 or 4 offloads earlier in that play.
Okay, time to run.
Carraz trying to get there again, and did, and remain cool. A couple of teammates putting their bodies in the road.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Leilua. Look at that second ruck in there, doing all the tough stuff. Well done. Twice the player, and he gets involved like that.
Tamalolo, all action today. Look how quick he's able to get that play the ball going for Cotter off the back of it. Bulldogs can't find a way to slow them down at the moment. Drinkwater, get out of the way. Robson. Tamalolo putting his hand up again and again. He's up over 100 metres now. Townsend trying to chip it crossfield. Oh, taken out in mid-air by Cohen Hess. Avarillo holding onto the footy right throughout, somehow.
It takes a lot of courage to play at the back. Avarillo leaves the ground. Hess just grabs him on the way down. Oh, Flanagan running gunshot again.
That's why it's a penalty, because it can get really dangerous when you take out the catches in midair. Penalty sufficient against Cohen Hess, and Avarillo's okay. King looked up and saw Tamalolo right in front of him. Cotter helped finish the job, but he's inspired right now, JT.
The good thing is he doesn't have to do everything now. Tamalolo just can pick his moments. Just another player on the team now rather than carrying the Cowboys. He's been great this afternoon.
Hangai Jr. after a short rest, back on. Offload. You can hear the Cowboys talking defensively, but they can't stop it, but they'll take the intercept. Valentine Holmes in position.
Seen that happen a couple of times in the game. We spoke about the jerseys looking similar earlier on. There's another point.
Worried about being bundled into touch as well. Carraz happy to throw it anywhere and could only find the opposition. Miku just quietly up over 115 metres run now. Set restart with a 4-point lead. If they score another try, they'll be hard to run down in the final 10. Robson teeing it up just beautifully for Drinkwater at speed. And the Cowboys have a commanding lead now with 11 minutes to go.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on, couldn't get off their line quick enough. Very underrated player, Robson. I suppose not by the Cowboys. Just picked it up. He recognised straight away Drinkwater. It's on his outside, an angled run. Gets on the inside there, the inside shoulder of Burton. We know what speed he's got, Drinkwater too. It's all set up for the run by Cotter. What about this guy for energy? Quick play the balls, leaves a couple laying on the ground. Robson, good awareness. Drinkwater there to support him. The Cowboys go back to back.
Reuben Cotter, the leg speed, a factor again on that set. And then Drinkwater able to finish for his 20th career try. He's got 19 try assists this season. He hasn't added to that today. But that's second only behind Mitch Moses. And unable to break into the side until injury to the hammer in round 4 opened the door for Drinkwater to claim that #1 jumper in round 5.
Yeah, they do it well too. Just push up around the ball from quick play the balls. Talk about teams playing flat and fast these days. That was a perfect example of it. Quick play the ball off Cotter. Recognised there by Robson, and straight away Drinkwater. Explosive speed in between a couple of players.
Rare miss from close range for Valentine Holmes. It's been a tough day for the goal kickers. The margin 8 points. And the magic of the Premiership is that it's real. From the athletes who play it to the fans who love it, 16 teams chasing the same dream every year. For the lucky few, it offers a taste of real glory. It's all the real that makes the NRL Telstra Premiership so unreal. The best way to experience it live. Fans can secure their seats at nrl.com/tickets. And these Cowboys are dreaming big in 2022 after being tipped by many to claim the wooden spoon. They might just finish with the biggest prize of all.
Well, they're going to certainly get themselves in a position to be able to do it. They're good at right across the park, aren't they? Nice and fast. They're always at you.
On their way to having a home final, week 1 of the finals, if they can finish top 2. And look at Cotter again off the back of the offload.
He's run for over 150 metres off the bench.
Tanoa Brown can just cruise back into the action after being a starter for the 4th straight week. Taumalola, his energy levels. Oh, 3rd man in. He wasn't expecting that. He just checked the number of who got him 3rd man in. It was Patolo down low. Oh, Drinkwater slipped through the tackle, kept it alive for Holmes. It remains the last. What can Dearden do? In a really tight window, he might just be happy to hand it over here. A very near thing again for North Queensland.
Here's the 3rd man in, up under the knees there. Don't like it. We're going to get it out of the game.
Is he okay because he was above the knees?
I think that one was okay, but Taumalola looked up and see who it was. Take your number there, son.
Just one more look at it. 2-man held him up and then
that one's fine.
High enough, but it still caused some major discomfort for Taumalola in that lower back region. Docker Clay is on very late in this contest for Marshall King. He gets a rare chop out. Often they'll play on the ground together. Marshall King will play the 80 minutes, but not this week. Burton, again pressure on the kick. Drinkwater, oh, in the end it came down for Dearden to take.
Put a few of them up today, hasn't he? Double figures.
Comfortably. Give that hamstring a workout, you'd imagine, all that kicking that he does and the distance he gets on them. Now he's got some defensive work to do. Faitala Mariner able to drag down Holmes just in time, and Granville comes off the bench for a late cameo, the 33-year-old veteran. Townsend and Addo Carr able to take it ahead of Nanai. No tries for him yet today. Addo Carr sucking in the big ones. This not the kind of temperatures the Dogs are used to in early August as they bring the home game to Bundaberg. Offload for Docker Clay to go to work, and look at those run meters. Reuben Cotter, interchange forward, leads the way with 160 metres. Will he be a starter next week, Blocker, or do you leave him as the impact man?
Gee, I don't know. I mean, that's a great thing about the Cowboys forward pack. They share the workload around as good as any forward pack in the competition. So you're never comfortable in their forward. You're off the bench or whether you start. So I reckon he'd be in my starting side, but to answer your question, but the pressure's on. Every forward in there, they all want to start. Don't worry about that. No one likes playing off the bench.
that plus 500 nearly in run meters today. And they trailed this one 10-0. So 22 of the last 26 points for North Queensland, and they hunt some more here. Holmes back on the angle. Great contact defensively by Patolo. Drinkwater has a double, slipping his way through and finishing off the job for the Cowboys today. Their in-form fullback, they're running away with it.
He's got himself involved, hasn't he, the last 15 minutes. Remember, he slipped over only a few minutes ago. Could have scored there, but the involvement up in the front line here, a little bit of footwork. I don't know why they're having a look at this one. That's just good play. What about the speed off the mark? Drinkwater, the dummy, slams the ball down. They can't make the tackle. Cowboys in again.
Up to 21 career tries now, and the stats sheet always makes impressive reading for this guy. He just does it all in attack. He's had a few headaches trying to find the bombs of Burton, but he's done the damage at the end of the day to help seal another 2 competition points for North Queensland. 15th win of the season has been secured. Back within 3 wins of Penrith in the race for the minor premiership that surely the Panthers will win, but North Queensland still have to play them before the season is done. That's the final round in Townsville. They've got the Roosters, the Warriors and South Sydney before that, and Holmes makes sure of this one. These fans are dreaming big, Billy.
They're dreaming big and make a lot of noise, Speedy. They just surged in the second half, the Cowboys. Scott Drinkwater went for 160-odd metres, 2 tries. He's been a danger all game, but as they've surged, the Dogs have run out of petrol. Cowboys just really confirmed how serious a threat they are in 2022.
And the way they've utilised the bench, we saw those interchange forwards come on at the back end of the first half. Leilua, Neem and Cotter, and all make a difference as Dearden makes another great take, the little man. Whereas the Bulldogs bench, Patolo and Docker Clay came on so late. Dearden, forward pass, and the referee was right in position as Drinkwater will be denied a hat-trick, although he might have looked for the hammer, but that was something special by Dearden until the stray pass.
Yeah, they got speed, haven't they? The Cowboys really finishing this one off. Been a great performance in the second half. He's did straight through. Drinkwater right on his hammer, but the ball floats forward.
Stay in that spot.
Gives himself a whack on the melon.
The point I was trying to make, there's a mismatch in the way the benches have been utilised today.
100%. Leilua, you talk about Cotter. Leilua, with his work rate in this game, you could probably start with him too. So that's what I'm saying. It's good to see all the pressure on everyone. Makes for a good footy side.
And Jordan McLean, who is set to play Origin for the Blues, out long term at the moment. Such depth at North Queensland. Dunn and Lukey ruled out for the season, unfortunately for them, but they've got some cattle. The Cowboys. Avarillo trying to find his way through, but again it's the hammer who just finds those extra gears and now turns the corner. Hamaso Tabuai Fido runs into Addo-Carr just as he was about to explode.
You're not going to get through there when Addo-Carr just... he returned the ball 30 metres there. Addo-Carr just makes the tackle one-on-one. He wasn't going to let him go through. Been a good contest, those two here, Sava.
Yeah. Always going to be built up. The contest between those two, and injury to Felt led to the matchup head-to-head. 9 of their wins this season have been by 20-plus point margins. One more converted try would make that the margin again here, but they're contained on the last this time around.
Hold, guys. We haven't even brought it into play, but you guys are going. Come on.
We're yelling out, knock on.
Let's go.
Bulldogs will be in New Zealand next week to take on the Warriors at Mount Smart. Always a special occasion for the Warriors to get back to New Zealand. Firing up for those contests. Oh, Nanai got to Burton. And they'll get one last crack at it here, the Cowboys.
Well, he had to have a little bit of an impact on the game. Nanai straight through on Burton. Some sort of front-on collision there. Slow ball. Not on the chest there for Burton. Nanai just picks him off.
Okay, let's go.
Burton saw a lot of Nanai head-to-head in Origin 3 at Suncorp when Nanai was absolutely outstanding as a starter in that arena at the age of 19. What a player he is going to be. Hiku threw a dummy and might have been thinking the flick on the outside, but there was no room for that. Held on for Drinkwater to pick up Nanai, who fell into the tackle. Faitala Mariner. Townsend to Noah Brown. One last play to try and put the cherry on top. Neem taken down, siren about to sound, and that'll do us. North Queensland absorb the early pressure, come back from a 10-0 deficit to win comfortably in the end. Their interchange forwards just changed the course of this game, and Drinkwater did the damage late. Full time in Bundaberg. It's the Cowboys 28, the Bulldogs 14.